everyone, we'll start with questions in English, please.
All right, we'll battle for the Sharapova questions here. How does it feel to be a candy magnate? Any sugar-free lines? Anything new we should know? Dennis give you a hard time about it?
Sugar-free. I don't think with the name Sharapova I'll be doing sugar-free anytime soon. Okay, well, there's your answer. I don't know.
Maria, you're kind of known as one of the fashionistas of women's tennis on the court. How has your style over the last 5 years off the court changed?
I think it's changed a lot because I used to wear pieces years ago that were not sold or produced, and they were pieces that cost maybe materials that were, coming from Italy that were quite expensive. So they were one-offs where you could do something a bit more different, edgier, push the boundaries a little bit more. Ever since I got in my collection, you certainly have to tone things down a little bit because that's something that will be worn on a 14-year-old girl or someone that's in a women's league. But overall, trying to maintain that edge and differentiate myself from everyone else.
When you were last here at the U.S. Open, Sharapova was a new company. How has it grown since then, and what's that experience been like?
It's been a really unique experience because I had no experience coming into it, so I feel that everything that's come my way I've been able to learn from, and we've grown tremendously in 2 years. We're in over 30 different countries now with exclusive distribution deals. For a new company, that's very, very rare. We're in different hotels. We're still trying. My goal is to keep it as premium as possible. I mean, from Four Seasons Hotel to unique boutiques around the world, or Colette in Paris, or somewhere in Asia. But yeah, it's a very interesting. You learn because it's candy. It's a certain amount of dollars per bag, and obviously, the more money you're going to make is by the more bags you sell. So at some stage, you have to make decisions in terms of mass and where you want to go and the directions that you take. But it's been a lot of fun.
Is your game where you were expecting to at this moment, or are you still searching for something?
I think that if there's a time to bring the game that I want to, it's definitely now. For the next few weeks, I wasn't happy with the way that I started the hard court. As the weeks progressed, I'm certainly feeling better. It was great to have this week of practice here. The courts are a little bit faster again, so it's good to come here a little bit early and to get that time on the courts. But overall, yeah, I think little by little things will shape into place.
Do you prefer at this point a faster hard court or a slower hard court with your game and how it's evolved?
I think a faster court can have a higher bounce, or a slower court can have a lower bounce. Just it always depends on the place and the weather. And I don't think I've ever really had a preference on hard court. I actually like when the court is a bit faster.
Maria, with all of your fashion ventures and the business ventures you have, how do you deal with that during a tournament? I mean, are you taking business emails during a tournament, or do you just say for these 2 weeks, I can't be reached and I'll deal with it after?
I don't usually get any emails during tournaments. I sometimes want to, but I don't. People know better.
Your psychological fortitude has always been probably one of the best parts of your overall game. Do you think you were born with that?
I'm not really sure. That's a question that I've been asked before, but I think it's also life circumstances that you go through that you work through and learn from, also by the people that you're surrounded by, and what you learn, how you go through making decisions. I've never really had an easy journey to this step of where I am today. I've from my days in Russia to even now, we always go through challenges and adversity, and I think I'm not sitting here today saying I'm the strongest person or physically or mentally, because I always want to improve and be better and make myself a better person.
Maria, what are your thoughts on your first round opponent, your history with her, and the path her career has taken?
She hasn't played in a while. That's That's what I know, but I also know we've had a lot of tough matches in the past, and she's a very dangerous opponent, someone that's capable of playing really great tennis. She's beaten me before in her career, and yeah, I'll definitely have to be ready.
What is it that makes her dangerous? What is it about the way she plays?
Yeah, she makes you hit a lot of balls. She's a great mover on the court. She uses a bit of variety as well in her game. But I guess we'll see on Monday.
Maria, I saw you the last time in Stuttgart. You were the face of the tournament. You had to do so many things for the sponsors. What is more stress for you? Being at Stuttgart at the tournament, we really have to do every day something different. It seemed like for the sponsor being at a Grand Slam tournament.
Well, it worked out pretty well for me, so maybe I should do a little more things. I'm very experienced, and I've been doing this for a few years to know how to structure a schedule in the week before a Grand Slam. I usually do a lot of my appearances in the beginning of the week leading up to the U.S. Open, and not towards the end of it or the weekend before. And time commitment, practice schedule. Sometimes it changes and you feel differently every year in every tournament, but overall I think my team has done a really good job of facilitating the schedule and making sure that once the tournament starts, I've had already 5 days of rest and recovery.
Maria, one of the things that us tennis masses learn when we watch you, at least I do, is what you do when you're not on the ball, when you walk off a point.
When I'm not on the ball?
When you're not striking the ball.
Oh, okay.
When there's downtime on the court. You'll walk, you'll turn around, you'll have a quiet moment. What goes on in those quiet moments?
It depends on the situation and what's going on in the match. Usually it's, if you're doing well, it's just kind of that inner voice to keep going and keep that focus, or if you feel like you've had a bit of a drop and you've lost that, it's words of encouragement, or it's a time to just yell at yourself within yourself. So it just depends on the situation.
With all the ventures that you have in terms of business, is there something comforting knowing that whenever you decide to finish your tennis career years down the line, you have other opportunities and other ventures that you feel passionate about and can go forward with?
I guess I do, because that's always scared me, and as I was younger in my career, because you live and breathe tennis from such a young age, you're never really exposed to other things in life, because you commit so much of your time and dedicate so much of your days a year without being able to educate yourself on another subject or have a proper schoolroom education or work with other people in different areas. And I've been able to do that and work around my career to really to set myself up for things in the future, because I certainly have the opportunity to do nothing, but that's never really been my character. I have always loved working. I'm still very young. I have passion and energy to succeed in other things, and I certainly hope that I'll have time and still that passion and drive for when I'm done.
You mentioned your first opponent, Caroline Go, hasn't played for a while. Do you kind of see that as an advantage coming into the match?
Yeah, you never know, because I think it's also an opportunity for someone like that to come in and have no expectations because they haven't really played a match, and to go out and swing away and not put a lot on yourself, not expect much from yourself, and sometimes that's a very dangerous opponent.
Maria, it's the 10-year anniversary of the last time you played mixed doubles.
Oh, what a stat. That's why we have journalists. For stats.
I don't expect you to be entering this year, but if you were, who would your dream partner be at this point in your career?
Can we bring Johnny Mac back?
Yeah, we'll bring it back.
Okay, I'd love that.
He would do it.
Not with me, probably, but
He would.
I'm a little too boring. I have too much focus on the court for him. Or maybe he'd bring out my wild side. I don't know.
What would that look like?
I'm not sure.
Last couple of questions?
Yeah. I'll just follow up on the business side, because your life has been so successful. I'm just kind of curious if the major conglomerates have come to you, the Mars, the Nestle's, the Hershey's, to get a distribution deal. I know you work on the premium end, but just kind of curious if they have approached you.
Well, we do attend a few of the candy shows during the year, where the big players are also in attendance. We're like the little mom and pop booth, and they're like the whole basically take over the whole show. But we have had a lot of interest from others, but I still want to carry the business in my hands because it's my baby. It's how I started, and I'm far from ready to give it to anyone else.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.